Hey everybody, this is Jeffrey Jansen. How's everybody doing today? I hope you all having a great time tonight. It is Saturday, February 15th. Gracie's got one of her friends over right now, so I basically decided to go on here. I was talking with my buddy Pete and a couple other people that are on a couple other networks I got. And so I thought I would make a quick video of scams, how to look out for them, what to watch out for. Hey Bob, how's it going, my friend? Hey Kenneth, how you guys doing? So there's been a lot of scams and everything go down. Hey Bob, you got time? I can have you join in on this one. Are you with your computer or are you on the road? Give me a second. Let me ask Bob here something real quick. I think he can hear me. Kenneth, I'm loving your post, my friend. I like the Devil Went Down to Georgia one. That was awesome. I did like that one. All right. Now, Bob, he is one of my workout partners and with everything I do. But what I want to go over it with everybody real quick, and I know there's a lot of people, they watch my stuff, and they kind of ask, and I always get different questions. Now, am I going to be right about everything all the time? No, I'm not. I don't pretend I am. It is your choice to watch this. It's somebody else, whatever you want to do. Okay, well, you're fine, Bob. You can, Bob and Kenneth, thing about it is Kenneth is another guy who I trust, and Kenneth's not in a bit, but he understands what scams are, and he understands shady people and how people get away with different things, okay? And talking to my buddy Pete on here, I know that in syndication, when this goes out, I'm hoping maybe after tonight some people get a little better understanding of things that are allowed and not allowed, okay? And the reason why is because, once again, last week we had a guy call me up. He was a doctor, blah, 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 but he sent all these mass text messages out, okay? That's illegal. And now let me tell you what my lawyer told me, because I did call my lawyer. He didn't trust me. He doesn't think that I'm going to call our lawyers. Our law firms, like we have a lot of them, represent all 50 states, okay? We also have law firms that represent all of Canada, and we have law firms that represent all of the United Kingdom. In the United States alone, we have over 11,650. Good, Dale's on here too. Dale can help me out with this also. Now, the reason why these people are coming on here, they're all in different parts. Bob's in North Carolina. Kenneth is in New Mexico, is it? I believe it's New Mexico. Dale, I think Dale's right here in Illinois. Okay, and then there's my cousin Keith, and he's in space. But the whole point of this is this, okay? When people want scams, I want you to understand one thing about spam laws. There is spam laws. There really is. But there's also one other thing. When you start getting mass amounts of text messages, they're breaking the law for that. It doesn't matter if it's business or not. Nobody can send out a mass amount of text messages. Virginia, Illinois. That's where Dale's from. Sorry. I was just making sure everybody knew where everybody was from. So people send out these mass text messages, okay? And one of the latest ones that gone out is from a guy that basically he wanted to argue with me. And he told me exactly where he's from. And so once again, what I did was I called up my lawyer. Now, in the United States, we have referral attorneys also. We have over 11,650 plus referral attorneys. I could be wrong on a couple of that, but I know it's a little bit over that because, like I said, we're growing. We are an international company now. And so when somebody tells me your law firm, well, good. You know what? I got about a half a dozen of them. I'm not worried about it. That's just right here around my area. I'm not too worried about it. But they're laws, okay? And the reason why, this is not me promoting my business. I'm trying to stop people from getting scammed. And every single time, and it's about time that I go live and actually go over why I do the spam calls. First off, Pakistan is able to call into the United States, and they've been buying up a system. It's called spoofing, okay? Now, what is spoofing? Have you guys ever noticed, and I'll get the phone, let me show you. All right. Have you ever noticed that you'll get a phone number that looks like this? And these are all actual spoof numbers, okay? See this number right there, 217-222-1484, right? That's a Quincy number. That is right here in my hometown, the 222 part. Well, here's the problem. It's spoofed. That means they stole the phone number for somebody. They're piggybacking on somebody else's phone number, or they're getting a number that's not being used. Usually it's somebody's cell phone number. And then when they're calling it, and when you call it back, you're either going to get a dead phone, or you're going to get somebody that's going to ask you like, I never called you, and they're going to get mad at you. These are going on every day. They are making over $100,000 in a week, plus just on spoofing people, okay? They spoof all the companies. They spoof the banks. So if you get something, then they're sitting there saying it's Capital One, I can't think of the other banks. First Bankers, all these big banks out there, okay? And they call in, they're saying, oh, this is a credit card. You have to give us your credit card number right now. It's because we have... No, you don't want to do that. You don't ever want to give anybody your information, okay? So now there's one going around right now. I want to touch base on it real quick because I promised Pete I would. And whenever Pete gets on here, there is one to where there's a company out there now that's sending out mass text messages. The thing about it is they're using real everyday people to do it. Now, why can't you send out mass text messages? Well, a friend of mine just pointed out something. My lawyer brought it up with me. Is every time you get a text message, you're spending money on data. So they're actually robbing you every time that they send you a text message. That costs people money. Now, I know a lot of people have unlimited stuff nowadays, but it's never changed. It's still costing you money every time they send you something. That's why it's illegal. So if you don't request or somebody tells you, hey, I'm going to be sending you this out, my company has made it very clear, very, very clear to all of us. We're not allowed to spam anybody. Now, some people will say it because they didn't want to get something or they don't want to pay something or they didn't like something, but that's every company. That's like compare Microsoft with IBM, okay? Or compare Verizon with Sprint. Not everybody's going to be happy with anything, okay? You can go on there and you can go to the Better Business Bureau and you can find complaints on all these huge companies. But we all know they're legit companies, okay? However, what's not legit is that these companies are so big and, with all the cell phone companies and everything else, they can use your phone number. These hackers and these spoofers and these spammers, they can use your phone number to send out text messages. They can use your phone number to call, okay? And unless you got a company to watch it, unless you have a company that's there to sit there and say, hey, there's something going on here, okay? People can use your phone number, your address, your social security number for anything they want. There's one that's going out right now, though, and they're sending out his text messages. Now, even if this was a legit company, and it's not, when somebody says, I took you off, loser, would you ever do business with somebody like that? Would you ever do business with anybody that you don't know, and the first thing they did was they called you every name in the book? No, you wouldn't. So that is bad business practice, first off. So that's business 101. Always be respectful, always be polite. Even if they're rude to you, you just hang up or you just go away. There are people like me out there looking for people trying to con you. And, even I got, take for instance, a couple days ago, I got conned. I got conned by a guy that has stolen valor. I admit to it. Now, I was really upset about it, but I got up, brushed myself off, and moved on. Now, that guy can say whatever he wants in order to try to go get money from anybody else. But I promise you, he won't get anything from the American Legion, the Marine Corps League, or pretty much the city of Quincy or anybody else ever again because he's been lying about his military service. Now, that's a local con job. These other local ones are calling out of St. Louis and everywhere else, but they're on with a company. Now, that company promised them they could send. This is how they make money. You can make 5 to 6 figure income every month by sending out mass amounts of text messages, and that's all you have to do with your phone number. That's the criminal asking you to break into the house, pretty much. In other words, we're going to tell you what to do. You're going to go break in. By the way, when you get caught, it's going to be you and your phone number, and we're going to play dumb. That's how they're getting away with it. So when these people, this particular one, I'll tell you exactly what it says, and I'm sure a lot of you are getting it because they're going on the pages saying, oh, you guys are Legal Shield or Identity Shield, or you guys are Amsoil or Arbonne, and your number's on there. We're allowed to send you whatever we want. No, they're not. Do not let them fool you. They are not. It doesn't matter. All 50 states, this is illegal, okay? And the reason why I'm telling you this is because the more they argue with you, the more you know they're not legal, because anybody that's a real professional business person will tell you this. Be polite to everybody. Be courteous. The best members I have, I know the color of their carpet. Bob and I and Dale and several other people that are on here, we have heard the old excuse, know the color of the carpet of the people you're doing business with. That means they invite you in, you invite them to their house, you have barbecues. There's a guy that I do business with for years, one of the nicest guys in the world, and I've got my soap from him, for my laundry soap, and a lot of people, and it was Quick Start Amway is what it was. Okay, and I still to this day, you want to know something? He brings it to us. He's nice, he's polite. I give him the cash, he gives me my product. I love him to death. He's been a great friend, family member, and my family going all the way back to the 1960s, 50s maybe, have been buying this soap. Why? Because it works. The Amish buy the soap. Now, that's good business practice, okay? Now, somebody like my upline in my business, okay? He helps other businesses teaching leadership and everything else. But he also tells everybody, you're not allowed to spam anybody. You are not allowed to lie, cheat, or steal about what we offer. If your product is that bad, or that you're so worried about your product you can't be honest about it, then you shouldn't be selling it, okay? Now, like I said, let me go back to the Sprint and Verizon thing. Now, I know I'm all over, but it's going to go back to this. Don't worry. This is how some people learn all this stuff. So, Sprint and Verizon 2 phone companies, they're fine. Nobody's got a problem with them, okay? But how many people do they have on their networks at all times? One person will drop Sprint. Oh, I hate Sprint. I'm going to go to Verizon. They go to Verizon. I hate Verizon. They're going to go to US Cellular. Oh, I hate US Cellular. I'm going to go to AT&T. Oh, I hate AT&T. And then you give all these bad reviews, but eventually they come back to Sprint. And there's customer service in there with it. You know, everybody tries to make everybody happy, but you're not going to have a Sprint representative or a Verizon representative tell you to go away. You're not going to have them tell you, you know, bad words. They're not going to send you a nasty letter. They're not going to text message you things that are just like, you know, blah, 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 blah. They're not going to do that, okay? Same way with anything else that goes on. A real business person that has a real business will always be respectful. They will always be knowledgeable, okay? And if they don't know, they're going to go get the answer for you and call you back. Example, my truck drivers, okay? I deal with CDL. It's one of my specialties in military. If they need to call me, they're more than welcome to call me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because I will help put them into where they need to go. Yes, they have the number in their phone. Yes, they have everything they need, but they forget. They're tired. They're behind the wheel. They shouldn't be talking on the phone. I go that extra mile by letting them talk to me. A company like ours, right? And you're right. Our company is great for that, and so are a lot of other companies. Okay, and I tell everybody, you know, I think, and this is just an assumption, but and I actually know what happened. But Kmart and Sears, their biggest downfall was they got rid of good service. They got rid of the people aspect of their business. Okay, and believe it or not, this one's going to sound really, really weird, but I got kind of mad at Amazon the other day. And yes, I do business on Amazon. I'm not afraid of that. So I called them up. I got a human being. And that human being went out of their way to make sure they could tell me what I was wrong about, but they also told me how I fix it. But then they showed me something cheaper. I felt Miracle on 54th Street where they send you somewhere else to get it cheaper. I'm just like, wow, that's customer service, okay? And to me, customer service nowadays it means everything. Nowadays, people need that human connection because we're so busy on the internet all the time. When you go into a place like, okay, give you an idea. We got a Dollar General close to my house. I go in there, they all know my name, but I watch them. They know everybody else's name too. And you want to know something? They kind of know each customer. Now, there's some people that are new. They laugh, they joke, they have a great time. Stephanie over there, their manager, Emily, and all these people over there, they're great people. I don't go in there because, you know, I could go to another store, but I go in there because I can get name brands in there that I need, stuff that I count on, and they're always nice to me, and I love it. Amazon, I was sitting there thinking they weren't going to be a good customer service. No, when I called and had a problem, they took care of me. Why? It's good customer service. No place I've ever been has ever cussed at me, has ever told me I'm a loser, has ever told me to go somewhere. Even I get really, really mad. And we all know how this goes, okay? I deal with truckers and military for a living. Trust me when I say I've heard them get mad at products. I've heard them get mad on the CBs. I've heard them get mad on the cell phone. I've seen them put people in their place very quickly. But I wouldn't have it any other way. But if you're doing business, so these scams, okay? Now, I'm going to go into the next part that I was telling you about. So the Social Security Administration, they will not call you, okay? Now, how do you know when they're a scam? First thing they do is say, oh, you have a warrant for your arrest. No, you really don't. First off, Social Security Administration is not going to call you. They may send you a certified letter, and then you have to check with your police department if it's real or not, or the Social Security Administration in your hometown, but they're not going to call you. But how do these cons trick you? Hey, you have a warrant for your arrest, okay? We need to get this now. You need to give us your bank account number, your credit card number. And they're scaring the elderly by doing that. People with dementia, people that are older, people don't understand computers, okay? Because they're scaring them. Now, is that good customer service? No, it is not. So that means it's not the Social Security Administration. I had the electric company called my dad, tried to tell him, hey, we're shutting your power off in an hour. I was like, okay, what do I got to do? Oh, you need to give us this. I'm like, oh, I tell you what, I got my, CIPS on the other line. Would you like to talk to him? Well, they're going to be there in an hour. You need to give us such and such money. I'm like, oh, okay. So you basically are threatening me now for me to fall for your scam, to give you money on something that doesn't even matter. And all because you know somebody's name. Yeah, that didn't go over very well. Had another lady call another time. And by the way, every one of you knows me knows I can back all this stuff up because I do live calls with them. Some of them go through great. Some of them it's like, oh my God, I got the holy grail of calls. And some of them fall flat on their face. But that's okay. Had another one call me up, and the lady goes, is this Mr. Jansen? And by the way, I don't care if you guys know where I live, so I don't mind that. Okay, so do you live at 1620 Gala Doctor? Okay, anybody that has an address or in the United States, and I'm thinking 9 out of 10 people know this in the United States. When you live in a subdivision, you live out in the suburbs, and you live on a drive, right? When they say you live at 1620 Gala Doctor, that's when you know that you're going to play some games, because if they say that, there is not a company alive that's going to have their people go into the field and sit there and get that wrong. So I was like, oh, it says doctor on it. She goes, yes, 1620 Gala Doctor. I'm like, yes, I live at 1620 Gala Doctor. Dale, I think I showed you that video, right? I think Bob may have seen that video. I think a couple of you guys saw that video. And she just kept going with it. And I'm like, I was laughing so hard, okay? But I do these as examples to everybody out there. Yes, I deal in identity theft for a living. I get that. But you don't got to get it from me. You can get it from Dale or Bob or anybody else. I don't care. I believe in my company. You know, people like to work with me sometimes. Sometimes they like get stuff from me. That's fine. But guess what? If somebody in my neighborhood gets hacked or gets scammed, that means they're going to get everybody in this neighborhood. Why? Because they just pick one person and then they go after everybody. If somebody in your family gets hacked or scammed, what do? They basically weed out the weakest one, and then they start going from there. It's kind of like Facebook before. They were having problems with people getting their friends lists and everything because they'd let somebody in, they push it, and all of a sudden they'd be able to steal everybody on your friends list by creating a fake profile, saying it's another friend, by putting their information in there, but they had no friends in there. It's like, what? And so when people tell me they're getting rid of their Facebook and stuff, I usually tell them, just take a break, because if somebody pretends they're you and you're trying to come back, people aren't going to allow you on there anymore. We've become wiser to people stealing people's names, numbers, and phone numbers and stuff, okay? Now, going back to what I was getting at. No one can send you text messages, okay? Mass amounts. Now, if somebody comes up to you and says, you mind if I send you something? You said, yes, sure. That's perfectly legal. That's another reason why it's kind of hard to prove if you said yes to somebody or no to somebody. And it's another reason why people, they like, oh, maybe I did say it. Or maybe I said yes on some survey somewhere. Or maybe I put it out there somewhere. Okay? But the fact is, if they come back and they argue with you and they say some nasty stuff, there was another one. I don't know who they were. It may have been, it wasn't the same company though. It was somebody a couple hours before sent me something like, no, thank you, please. And they took me off and they never said anything back to me. That's good business. Now, it's bad they sent me a text message without my permission, but I didn't get mad at them for it. The reason why? They didn't keep sending it on. They didn't have to send me, oh, you're a loser and stuff like that. This one company, they're people that are selling it are doing this to people. And no one's going to buy from them. At least so he thought. Now, where am I going with this? Okay, there was a call we made, and the guy got on the phone. And by the way, everybody knows I'm not racist, sexist, or anything like that. I'm just a Marine. I'm green. I'm a Marine and I'm green. Okay? Well, the first thing the guy on the phone was, he started using bad words with me. Then he called me the N-word. And I'm like, excuse me? So by the time I was done, not only was I the N-word, I was gay. I was all these things, Jewish, gay, I don't know what it was. I just started having fun with the guy. We had such a good time with him. He just kept going on. Well, all of a sudden he'd go on a smoke break. He forgot to hang his phone up. Now, the first part was really, really funny. The second part would almost bring a person to tears. So he left the phone off the hook. It was a mistake. The reason why he got back in, he was getting reamed. That's when we found out. For 45 minutes, we sat there and listened as people were being scammed by Social Securities, by electric, Social Security, different things, Visa, MasterCard, all these scams going on in one place, and you could hear at least 6 or 7 different ones going on at one time. You just had to listen. Some of them were English, some of them were Spanish. There was a couple more that were in French, and they were going crazy. Okay? At the time we were on the phone, I think we figured it out, and a bunch of us sat around together, and we had to listen to it over and over and over again because we were trying to figure it out. In 45 minutes to an hour, they scammed over $100,000 out of people. If every one of those credit cards went through. And you want to know something was scary? Is any of those could have been our parents, any of those could have been our neighbors and friends and everything. And then on top of that, they don't just stop there. They then ask for references, or they need people because we have to prove it. So we need to call up your friends and family. And then you start telling them information about your neighbors. You cannot give that type of information out to people because you don't mean to. You know that old saying, loose lips sink ships? It really means it. They're trying to go after you because the reason why they're calling with spoof numbers, if they were to call with a Pakistani number, it would cost them money in the United States. So they have to reroute the calls. They reroute the calls through different states, and what they do is they call in by the numbers, then through this server thing, it will call out different numbers. So all those places that get stolen, all the hospitals have been breached, all the banks have been breached, the Veterans Affairs have been breached, Equifax breach, remember that one? Okay, Wells Fargo breach. Think of it, it just keeps going and going and going, okay? You know, what's the parent company of Anthem was breached, okay? You know, and not only that, I know Kirby vacuum cleaners and all these other places were breached. Places that are breached are not even telling you they were breached because even though they're supposed to by law, they're not telling you they're breached. And what do they get? Any information you've ever given them. So some of you give out your debit card. Some of them you actually give your actually bank account numbers. You give your credit cards. How many places have your mother's maiden name? How many places have all your kids, your grandkids? Now, this is even scarier. When they breach it, they're also getting all your passwords. How many people still use the same password over and over and over again? Okay? This is not a political thing. They don't care who you are. They don't care the color of your skin. They don't care your sexuality, race, or creed, or anything else. What they're doing is they want to scam you. They want to hurt you. They want to make sure they can get as much out of you as possible and make your life a living heck. Simple as that. Veterans Affairs got scammed, and guess what? When the government bought the new company, or got another company, that company scammed the government. And they got another couple $1 million and ran away and then closed up shop. So veterans out there, you know, we're at risk like everybody else, okay? So when you get one of these companies in there that send out mass text messages, they want to sit there and argue with me, and they want me to give them a platform. Well, I'll sit there and tell everybody what I do, and you're not going to use my friends and family as a platform. I do this as a courtesy. I'm not trying to make any money off anybody. I'm just tired of seeing people get taken advantage of, okay? Just like my biggest thing, this stuff here doesn't bother me as much as stolen valor does. And I got taken by a guy. Yes, he may have been in the Army, but everything he told us was a lie. And he's been lying about that too, because I talked to other Army members, and guess what? I'm Marine, but it turns out he didn't do any of that stuff. But he's been doing it to get money. There's a couple Marines out there that didn't do anything in the Marine Corps, but they go around telling everybody, I'll get you something from the White House, or I'll get you something from Kandahar, or I'll get you this. And they're doing everything to get money, and then they never pay it back. Those are scams. You know, if you want to give somebody money, you need to go to legit organizations for the military, such as the American Legion, the Marine Corps League. You can ask. I can tell you, like, Fishing for Freedom is a great organization. You know, I can tell people. Now, me personally, don't take my word for it. All these places out there got a lot of people that go and do different things with them. You know, one of the places right now that has nothing to do with the military, but you want to know something? They help the military out. Mississippi Valley Hunters and Fishermen in Quincy, Illinois. Did you know that they take military men and women and also kids, and they take them out on hunting trips, and they take them out in the woods, get them outside again? And now they're building a big thing down at the Bay, which is different than the Riverfront Project. It's the Bay Project, so that kids don't have to drive an hour or two to go to outside activities, so they can get outside again, because so many kids are inside on their tablets. Here am I speaking, right? We don't want to be scammed, and everybody's scared of it. My company, yes, we do. idguy.org, but you know, I don't care what you do. This isn't about that. This is about people taking advantage. Then they use your social media platforms to take advantage of you, okay? So anytime that anybody has a question, you need to question everybody you're talking to. Even question me, okay? I don't mind, okay? I've owned brick and mortar stores. I've had businesses before, you know. Heck, I got a buddy right now. He sells energy coffee. He's a great guy. I believe in his business. That's fine. I would never sell energy coffee. Not because I don't believe in him. It's just not something I do. Just like Sensi's. I don't sell Sensi's, but they smell good, and I got a lot of friends, and I believe in them for selling. They're great entrepreneurs, okay? These are great companies. There's 2,600 of them out there. But you want to know something? If they cuss at you, if they say anything negative to you, then they are not doing their company any just good. They're basically ruining everybody else. For me to say anything bad about my company, I'm about ready to yell at my daughter here in a second. They're all in there yelling and screaming, and anybody want a little daughter, I'm going to throw her. Hey, any scammers out there want a daughter? I'll give you one. Just kidding. Grace! Bring it down a couple notches. I find myself getting louder. She gets it after me. Don't tell anybody, though. All right, so the whole point is this. We don't want to be scammed. Nobody does. If it's too good to be true, it is. If somebody offers you something where you don't have to do anything at all, there's no such thing as a business. Even in my business, you've got to learn. You've got to learn the product. You got to call people. You have to do footwork. You got to go to classes. Okay? You have to do things that would make you better and make you a professional. We also teach things like, what's up, guys?
Nothing. We're just trying to be quiet.
Everybody, my little daughter, Gracie, and Kimmy Gibbler.
That's Kimmy.
Where are you guys going?
What do you mean?
Where are you going? 1 minute, everybody. Huh?
We're gonna go to her house.
What?
I don't know.
Said who?
We just decided to.
Why?
We're gonna go out play outside.
Yeah, okay, in the cold. You can go to her house, that's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
I just need to know where you're at. Alright, everybody, sorry. It's the job of being a parent. Dumb and Dumber back here. Everybody read the female version of Dumb and Dumber.
Female? Oh, yeah, female.
Sorry, everybody. Love my daughter. They're good kids. Jeez. Hey, Alan. Alright, back to what I was talking about. So, don't be scammed. You know, right now, when the Democratic and Republican parties are both calling me, I won't even answer. I basically don't want to talk to them. Either one, because I don't know if they're scams. I don't know. Right now, in a political season, when people need to be very diligent and they need to be paying attention to everything going on, this is when scammers do their best. Okay, this is when they're really uproar. Take, for instance, when those shootings happened in the high schools, right? All of a sudden, a bunch of these weird charities came open where they went to, those were all fake. People take advantage, and we have to be very careful of that, okay? We have to be very, very careful of that. Then you also have to be very, very careful that some things are legit. Like we were doing a thing, we were going to raise some money, but the other moms and dads on the other side, they wanted money under the table, and we wouldn't do that. We're like, no, everything's got to be reported, everything's going to be outside. So they tried to slander us. Well, later on they went to court, and they got court orders against them. Not from us, but because they were shady. So no matter what you got to do, you got to be careful, okay? And it doesn't matter where it's coming from. I teach on scams. I actually, like I said, if all of a sudden, oh, and this will be the last scam I talk about, and then we'll go back to the other scams. There's a really good one out there right now. And this one I've actually had to get on stage, and I'll be getting on stage in March to tell more and more people about this particular one, okay? There is one that is really, really bad. You'll answer the phone, and it'll be a female voice. English, female voice, no accent, talks perfect. It's a recording, you just don't know it. They're using algorithms, and they're going off of your tone of voice to put you into the next computer-generated machine. So you're thinking you're talking to a real person. They're like, okay, hold on, let me get them for you. And then they're going to put you through another. Well, it's to confuse you. They go through 3 or 4 until you finally get to somebody. We went all the way through the 4th person. Got to they're like, you called us. I'm like, no, we didn't call you. We want to know where you're at. They want to tell us where they're located. They want to tell us anything else. And by the way, it had a foreign accent again. But we've discovered after the 3rd call that all these are recordings, but they're going off. So we just basically said this. What's my name? Okay. Can you please tell me my name? I usually have a person say my name 3 times. And the reason why I do that is because algorithms are not going to say your name 3. They're not going to say your name twice. But just to be safe, I was like, please tell me my name. And then I was like, look, I know there's a lot of scams out there, and I got to make sure you're not a computer. I just need you to say my name 3 times. I know that sounds weird, but you need to do that. Or you just need to hang up the phone. The reason why is because the algorithm does not know that, and next thing you know, they're sitting there acting like you said something else and you didn't. And then you know it's fake. So that's one way of doing it. Another way is as they're calling, you need to block the number that's calling you. So they call, block it. Just hang up and block it. Anything with Visa and MasterCard is a scam. Block them. Those are spoofed and they're from Pakistan. Anything about your vehicle warranty is a scam. You know who you can call about your vehicle warranty? Call the bank or call the place where you got your vehicle. But your vehicle, because guess what? When you ask them, can you please tell me the make? They're going to ask you. They're going to tell you to say, well, you called me about it. Can you please tell me the make and model of my vehicle that you just called me? That since the warranty's up and you've got it in front of you, we have one lady say, oh, well, I was just transferred this information and I need you to tell me because I don't have it in front of me. Another one said, no, we're not allowed to. That's identity theft. We can't tell you the make and model. You have to tell us. So, no. Make and models of a vehicle is not identity theft, okay? Now, if you tell them the VIN number and you tell them any of your numbers for your accounts or anything else, that is. Telling somebody the make and model is not illegal. They're just trying to get numbers out of you. Yeah, okay, Dale. Dale's got a good one. Dale, you should come live on here with me and join in on this conversation. Student loan forgiveness is a scam. It really is. And the reason why is because they're taking advantage of people that got high student loans, high credit. That's why these credit cards, everybody's like, oh, they're wanting a way out. And they know that if they can get that information. It's funny because a lot of people say, well, if somebody wanted my identity, they can just have it. Did you know when they take your identity, they can go open up other bank accounts and they can pretend there's somebody else and they can take one social security number, add a birth date to it. They can make you a completely different person. The problem is when they don't pay on their loans, when they don't pay on the credit cards, and they borrow all this money or they open up Sam's cards. By the way, all this stuff we've fixed for people. Do you know what happens? It comes on you and you have to go to jail until you can prove it's not you. Now, how are you going to prove it's not you when you don't even know what's going on? Okay, how about this? They can take your driver's license or student ID, okay? They can put their picture on it. It's got all your information. And guess what? When they write down all the information, did you notice one thing about tickets and stuff is they don't take a picture. It's just the information. They give you the ticket. There you go. And sure enough, now you got a warrant for your arrest or now you broke the law. You got people out there. They can sell that a couple thousand times. And then they can just change different things and sell a couple thousand more. People are making thousands of dollars off your name when you can't even make $1 off your own name. Isn't that terrible? Seriously, is that not terrible? It's freaking crazy if you ask me. But this is what's going on. So, all of a sudden, the biggest one, and I recorded it, or I took a picture of it, and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to read it to you. Okay? Because I think the guy, I don't think his intent was to be, I just think he's strong-willed personality. That makes sense. It doesn't make sense to me, but who's to say that why he's doing what he wasn't a doctor, yet he put on there that he's a doctor, which is even funnier. Okay, so the scam is this. Let's get in here. All right, so if you guys can read this. Oh, sorry. Can you read that? It's probably going to focus in. I'll read it. Want more money and free time in your life? I'm Dr. James O'Kelly. He's not a doctor. He just says that to get people to call it. From Missouri, with Mobile Team Builders International. We've never met. I got your mobile number off public Facebook business page and went to share something wonderful. Empty guy's been long. Anyway, needless to say, it's a scam. Okay? They want you to use your phone number to send out mass amounts of text message, and every time that somebody answers, they're going to pay you X amount of dollars. All right. I even went to their webpage and everything else. All right. So this particular person didn't realize, and the other guy didn't either. They called me Jason. So my name's Jason now, everybody. Okay, Jason, let me know when you go live in your call and I'll educate your audience. So he's going to educate my audience by using curse words and letting them know. So he's going to educate all of us who are very, we're against scams. We're against stuff like this. And if it is a legitimate company, which it's not because I asked my lawyers, then why would you be rude? So anyway, then he wants to argue law with me, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, there you go. That's all you had to say. You're now removed, loser. He actually said that. He goes, you're now removed, loser. And if you believe that, sue me. Your law firm is not worth your monthly membership. Great. Which law firm is that? The ones that are in the top 50 in the world? Or one of the 11, how about one of the ones from the other countries? Or how about one of the law firms that are referral attorneys? The guy didn't know what he's talking about. I'm not worried about my business. I am worried, though, that people get taken in by this stuff. Problem is, if we don't react. Did you know Congress had a bill in there to start passing something to stop all these spam calls? The do not call list doesn't work anymore because they found ways around it by basically using computers to call you. Did you know that? I watched it on TV and I watched them downplay it. Both Democrats and Republicans said, we want to get rid of this, but then nobody did anything about it. Why? You guys, we are losing money, we're losing time, and we don't have enough time to worry about who's calling our phone. Okay? What if you only got a little bit of power left on your phone? Now all of a sudden you got somebody blowing up your phone because they're trying to scam you. What about our elderly parents that are over the age of 60 or even 70? My dad's almost 80 years old, okay? He doesn't even have a cell phone. But they're calling him. I'm going to give you a little heartfelt thing. My grandma, and this is the reason why I know they get taken in by it. My grandma lived alone after my grandpa died, after being around all of her kids and everything else. And I noticed every time I went to her house, she had new products at her house. She had a food dehydrator, she had a bell, she had a whistle. It's because every time that somebody would call her, she'd buy their product because she just wanted to spend time on the phone with somebody. Well, what if your mom and dad, aunt or uncle, friend gets called and they wipe them out because that's what they do. They wipe you out. Those, luckily for me, were all legitimate companies. They just did a lot of calling back in the day before the do not call list. But now when they call, they're wiping you out. What if they give them, oh, yeah, that sounds like I can give to that charity. When are we going to stop and say enough is enough? I play with these all the time, and people know, and they get mad at me, and then I just, they don't bother me because I'm trying to show everybody out here how, and anybody in my company that's sending out mass texts, mass messages, and, without people's permission, that's just wrong. Our company promotes not to do that. I have asked every single person, but our company is against that. I know that Amsoil, Arbonne, against that, 100%. I know that Amway, against that, okay? I know that companies like Napide will not do that. That's here in town. Titan Wheel will not do that, okay? Places like County Market, Hy-Vee, they will not do that, even though they got a master list of everybody's emails, because if you go in there and you get like a Save-A-Lot card, or you get the Hy-Vee Fuel Saver, you give them permission to send you weekly discounts. I get that. People like coupons, but that's legal. But they're not sending it to your phone. They're sending it to your email. Remember, email's different than a phone. Okay? So I don't know if this helps out anybody. I don't know if this will enlighten anybody or help anybody out. Okay? But whenever you're out there, all right, and it's kind of like... And like I said, you don't want to down other companies. And I'm not downing any companies right now. I'm just downing the scammers, the hackers, and the spoofers. Okay? I'm downing companies that say that you're going to get rich by doing nothing because you're using your phone number. Well, they're using your phone number because they know that if they get caught, you're on the line. And you sign paperwork that you're on the line if you get caught. And they're lawyers. I mean, think about it. You're making them millions of dollars and you didn't get a dime. Okay? I do know that the 2,600 or the network marketing companies out there, and then I know all the small mom and pop businesses out there, I know they're all legit, okay? I'm sure the next one's going to be, hey, get marijuana through the freaking mail, or here, call here, and it's going to be a scam. Why? Because people are thinking with all the laws changing, no, it's still it's still federally illegal, okay? It's kind of like, I think wine can do it now, but spirits cannot. You can't transport liquor across state line. You can't mail it to somebody. You actually cannot do that. It's illegal. the slogan, just hang up, would be great, except they keep calling back until they get somebody. And unfortunately, I wish I could use that slogan, just hang up. But unfortunately, they don't listen to that. What you got to do is you got to get them on the phone long enough to be able to block and delete their number. Okay? Because they're going to keep calling. They have thousands of... One scammer, one hacker probably has 10,000 numbers at their disposal, meaning that they can use to call you with. And think about it, and the best thing to do is call your provider, which is AT&T, Xfinity, Comcast, Verizon, whatever, and tell them this is what's going on. They're going to do their best to help you because they want to keep you as a customer, okay? And they will tell you different methods you can do. Now, the last thing, I got a thing over, Sprint sent me a thing. And this is a legit cause. I already knew about it, but I think it's time I better start telling people about the newest scam. Public places where you can plug in your phone. How many people have heard of that before? Okay? Okay, the problem is, it's a scam right now to where they're hacking. Okay, they go to these places like airports where you got to get a quick charge on your phone and everything else. When you're charging your phone, they're pulling everything out of your phone. And they're doing it in the middle of public places. You got to be careful with this. This is a legit thing going on right now, okay? So how the scam works, I'm gonna read it to you. A hacker secretly installs hardware into a public USB port, which can be found in airports, hotels, and gyms. So if you're at a hotel trying to charge your phone, it's hacked. Okay, and gyms, anywhere you gotta plug in your phone in a public place. This is bad, and you've got to listen to this. Which can be found in airports, hotels, gyms. Nothing appears out of the ordinary, but when you're charging your phone, the hidden hardware steals your personal and financial info. The port might also infect your device with malware, making it unusable. Scammers can even load malware onto cables and leave them at charging stations or give them away as promotional items. So when you're powering up, the cord is putting a virus on your phone, tablet, laptop. You see what they're doing? They can use a cord now, a cable. They're putting a virus on the cable. Tell me that's not crazy, but it's true. And this is going to be the number one. How to prevent it. Use power outlets to charge your device. Okay, so use an actual power outlet. to charge your device, not just the USB cord. No data can be transferred this way. So if you're charging, whether it's a power outlet, it cannot, we're talking about if you have a USB port somewhere and you plug it in, that USB port's hacked, not a power outlet. Power outlets will not hack it. No data can be transferred this way. A portable battery pack is also safe. So if you got a portable battery pack, use it. Only use cords that came with your device or that you bought from a trusted vendor, okay? If you need to charge your phone through a USB port, purchase a device such as a Porta-Power USB data blocker. A Porta-Power USB data blocker attaches to your cord and prevents juice jackers from stealing your information. Okay? Have questions, call your cell phone company. Don't fall the scam when charging your phone. Juice jacking, it's called juice jacking. It is a legitimate thing. May be coming to a gym, hotel, or airport near you. Here's how to avoid it. So, like I said, if you see something like that, be very, very careful anymore, because the first victims are going to be the ones that are saying, oh, it don't happen to me, I trust my gym. It'll be the small towns where people aren't aware of it. It'll be the little bitty airports, It'll be the places. Remember, a USB port, just in case you want to know what a USB port is. Okay, back here, that's a USB port. Okay, so if you go to a gym and you plug it in, because they got power outlets, power stations for you, that can be hacked, okay? You want to be very, very careful about that. So, like I said, if you guys have any questions, call your provider. I'm sure they can answer it for you, okay? So, thanks everybody for joining me tonight. Like I said, don't give hackers the time of day. The little things you can do, ask them to say your name 3 times. Don't ask them a common question that would be on a port. So if they're calling you and you know it, ask them such thing as, what's my zip code? What's my area code? What's my zip code? See, foreigners don't usually know the difference between a zip code and an area code. Area code would be 217. Zip code would be 62301, 62305, 62306. Okay? And a 217 number here in Illinois can go all the way up to the Peoria area. Okay? So you also may ask them different things. Good. What is my oldest son or daughter's name? Because if it's on all the paperwork, it's not going to be there, and they're not going to know it, but they're going to try to guess it. Okay? But the whole idea is get them on there so you can block them. Get them on so you can block them. My name's Jeffrey Jansen. I hope you guys find this useful. It doesn't. Hey, thanks for joining me anyway. I think each and every one of you are great. I just want you guys to be on the lookout for any scams that are out there, for these mass text messages, for people that think that they can argue with you on the phone. Never do business with anybody that calls you a name. Never do anybody a business that makes you feel unwelcome, unsafe, or unhappy. Okay? A real business person will give you their time. They'll know the color of your carpet. They will be courteous. If somebody like Dale's not on my team and somebody comes up to me and says, Dale, I would send them back to Dale. But I'd be like, you know what? He's got a product that is outstanding and awesome. Why? Because we all have the same product. Why on earth would I ever down my product? Plus, I also believe in courtesy. If they went to Dale first, they're going to get to go to Dale because that's who they asked. If they go to Bob, you know what? I help Bob sell. Why? Because we all have the same product. Okay? And if that's the case, never down on your company. Never down on the products. Just because somebody doesn't like it, no, nothing's perfect. Okay? And just because they'll be back eventually. Why? Because everybody gets mad at somebody for something over some reason. It's the way life is. But know this. If anybody cusses at you, if anybody calls you a loser, if anybody wants to sit there and ball up on you, man up on you, like you have to buy my... Get away from us as fast as possible. I will still do these videos all the time so each and every one of you can see the scams out there that are just the downright nasty, rotten people. Anybody that would call somebody a loser because I call them out on it. Okay? Just because I didn't go and press charges against the guy, that doesn't mean what he's doing is not illegal. It just means I'm not going to take my time of day and waste on him when I can actually use that to show people what they do. So the more they call me, the more I can protect people like you by giving you advice on what to say, what to do, and who the hackers are calling. And all the time, once we get going, you start seeing a bunch of Marines getting on my page as we're doing some of these live scam calls. You will see us meet. I mean, I have to admit, I can get pretty bad sometimes because my friends are keeping me going. I guess Marines all kind of... Also, if Adam Deming just came on here, if he got on there, I promise you we'd have a little bit of fun because, like I said, it's a ping pong game. We just throw it back to each other. They think that, we play them off each other. And guess what? We have a good time doing it. He's my onesie buddy. One of these days, he's going to come in town. We're going to go to the bars. We're going to wear our onesies together. So, Dale, Tom, Josie, you guys are all invited. Connie, you can do it too. Brandon, Charles, Dale, Alan, Eric, Jeff Cramsey, Sergeant Eves. Know this. Y'all are important. I love y'all. Y'all are great. Stay safe. Stay away from scammers. Get yourself a good protected company. IDguy.org. IDguy.org. That's me, but you don't have to. I just want you guys to be safe because if they get you, they're going to get me. If you're on here now and they get a hold of your information, they will get my information. They really will. Protect yourself, everybody. God bless. I'll see y'all later. Hope y'all having a great. Stay warm. It's what, 35 degrees outside here? My buddy Chuck up in Canada said it was like -10 below or something. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go up to Canada right now. So, all right, everybody. We will see everyone later, and I'm out. If you guys have any questions, be sure to email me or put them in the comment section below. And I'm going to write something in the comment section below so you can see where you can put it. Okay, you can put it right here. I wish I would quit correcting what I put on there. So, put it in a comment. And that's where you put it. If you have any questions, look forward to talking to everybody later. And if you can, send this out on your page so other people can see it. I will make this available to the general public so everybody can watch it. Because like I said, the first thing we can do is protect ourselves. The first thing we do is educate ourselves. See you, everybody.